Everyone, thanks for coming along. I'll give people just a few seconds to join. Just to introduce myself, my name's Will. I work in marketing and communications at Empathy Week. And also on the call this morning is Ed, who is the founder of Empathy Week. And we are just going to talk to you really quickly today about Empathy Week 2024 for around 10 to 15 minutes. And we will leave some time at the end for you to ask any questions, should you guys have any. The slides that we're using today are from our school's information pack, which you can download and access for yourselves. Ed will put the link in the chat for you. So don't worry if you can't read or keep up with absolutely everything on the slides. We're going to draw out the most important parts today, and you can do some exploring afterwards if you wish. So just to get us started, we recently released a trailer that perfectly encapsulates everything that we do and that we have to offer. So we're going to play that really quickly for you now. Lovely. So Empathy Week will be taking place from the 26th of February to the 1st of March. We're heading into our 5th year, and it's a really interesting year because we're going through some exciting changes in structure. One being that we are now free for all schools. So all of our events, assemblies, film-based resources, they are free to everyone who registers. We're of course very passionate about developing the skill of empathy in students. I think we can see in technology and in the news that the world is rapidly changing. It's becoming more diverse, more globalized, and we need empathy now more than ever to develop connection and to be able to thrive in today's world. And our mission, therefore, is to build the empathy generation. So students who go out into the world, who reserve judgment, and who can listen to and connect with anyone, regardless of their background or their views. Research shows that empathy is a vital skill. It increases creativity, conflict resolution, job performance. It reduces chances of cyberbullying. And we've in fact carried out a pilot study ourselves with the University of Cambridge that has shown how Empathy Week improves student well-being, confidence, and general development through film and storytelling. And we would ultimately love to bring this into your school community and your school environment. Moving on to Empathy Week 2024 specifically. Every year, Empathy Week has a theme, and this year our theme is home. So our resources, our events, they will be touching on social issues and topics that relate in some way to this theme, which include the refugee crisis, homelessness, well-being, nationality, and war. In terms of Empathy Week structure, we will be providing 2 film-based assemblies per age group. We differentiate based on age because, of course, some topics being touched upon in our films are only suitable for older students, so we take care of that. So there will be 2 short films per age group, around 5 minutes each, as well as an accompanying PowerPoint for each film and each age group, with activities and questions to get your students to reflect on what they've watched. We also have a selection of speakers available on demand. Ed will show you some examples of these speakers in a second. And these will be 15-minute videos led by a guest speaker who has a really incredible backstory to tell, and they'll be talking about what home means to them. And these sessions, like our assemblies, can be run during lesson time, assembly time, pastoral time, whenever works best for you. And also on this slide, as you can see, we also have some exciting in-person and online events happening across the week, which are again free. Our in-person events highlighted in the blue boxes are for UK-based schools only, simply due to their location. They include an on-stage live event for 400 students on the Monday, which will feature great guest speakers, interactive elements, film and music. We are also hosting, in collaboration with Canva at their London HQ, an in-person CPD event for teachers on the Wednesday. with the opportunity for networking, and also an event with Snapchat on Friday for sixth form and college students, which will give students the chance to meet Snapchat employees from a range of sectors, be inspired, and gain some tips on starting their early careers. In the pink boxes are the live events happening online across the week. So, online CPD training for teachers. One session will be on the importance of positive relationships, the other will be on self harm, and live assemblies for primary schools as well. One led by 52 Lives, which will be about spreading kindness with the opportunity for children to write kind messages for a person in need, and another assembly led by Sanctuary Foundation, which will focus on being a young refugee in the UK. And you'll be able to tune into these live assemblies as you're doing now on Zoom. Event signups are open now. Ed is going to show you how to sign up in a second. But just a reminder that whilst there is clearly a lot available, by no means do schools need to participate in absolutely everything. You might play one or two on-demand sessions for your students that are maybe on a specific theme or a specific speaker, or you might do that and sign up for a number of events too. Empathy Week is made to be flexible, and you don't have to make changes to your timetable to join in, although you can if you want to. So I'm now going to pass over to Ed, who will share some more details about our on-demand speakers.
Amazing. Thanks, Will. Good morning, everyone. I think everyone is based in the UK here. So Will's perfectly explained everything so far. I would just say, though, for example, that the Snapchat event for sixth formers is now booked. So people that are joining that will now join a waiting list. So some of these in-person events, they are limited by numbers, unfortunately. However, we do still have quite a few spaces for this event at ACS Cobham and the event for teachers as well. It's going to be an amazing week and lots of different resources. As Will said, we also have some on-demand session speakers. We tend to reach 30 to 40 countries every year. And so obviously some live sessions, which we did last year, were tricky for a lot of schools. So we've decided to do some on-demand sessions as well. So almost like little TEDx type talks of people sharing their story about what home means to them, what they do for a job. Yesterday, I actually interviewed Petra. We try and do these closer, or I interview these people closer to the time. So they're not available just yet, but everything will be available for Empathy Week. So Petra, for example, was raised in a cult, religious cult, and talks about escaping that and what she does now and how she views home, having traveled lots of different places. Charlotte talks about home from a point of view where she was in Afghanistan during the Taliban takeover again in August 2021, and she was there on the ground. And she actually in her interview with me talks actually about coming face to face with leaders of the Taliban in Qatar, and talks and having empathy for people that you fundamentally disagree with and that fundamentally are on, US government lists of millions of dollars. And she's having to communicate with people from all different backgrounds and put herself in an awkward situation as well. Anton is the CEO of the British International School in Ukraine. He's going to be joining me to do an interview with 4 students who are going to talk about what home is like for them, having been and still are in war. So there's lots of different various people talking about this theme of home. But with all of these things, and actually with the events and everything that's going on, all of this is to have better conversations with your students. We talk about creating unstoppable classroom relationships. What we've seen, we're going into our 5th year of this. We've done some pilot research with Cambridge. What we've seen is that films are amazing, events are amazing to help develop empathy, but actually where the true empathy development comes from in a school environment in your classroom is when that child raises their hand and might say, oh, I've got a little experience that links with this. Or on the opposite hand, maybe like, I've never experienced anything like that, and now I have a different perspective. This is all about perspective building. I used to be a teacher myself. I understood how hard it was to get people to come in and speak or to get that time. These CPD sessions we've got going on, please get your staff involved, get your school involved, because this would usually cost you £1,000 a piece on these conversations. We're managing to, I guess, wangle some deals and get some exposure for some companies and different organizations that offer paid CPD, but we're giving it for free. So hopefully you can join us. I'm not going to spend too long on this because it's very wordy for early in the morning, but we do link everything into like RSHE, SMSC, I think in particular for a school, I go on any school's website and I look at their mission statement, and it's always about creating young citizens of the future, creating young people that can go out into the world and look after themselves, be emotionally available, be emotionally literate. And what we're trying to do is actually give you something to actually help that process. And it's not that you have to use everything in the week. We often get now people coming in the week and hearing about us and registering, or post Empathy Week coming. So now, rather than our film curriculum, which will be coming later in 2024, Empathy Week is all focused around these like one-off events. You could just register and use one thing and still take part. So it's very simple. As you'll see, I'm just coming out of my pack here. So this is on the website, so you can access this via the link. But you can see here I'm registered, but you would go to the register page, click here to register. You would be taken to a form. We collect this information just so that we know about your school, where you are, and then this is just so that you have a login. Once you've done that, you will just have a members area and you'll be able to access this. You can't access this until you're registered and approved. We've actually, whilst you're waiting, put some 2023 webinars here. So there's some amazing content already here that you could use with your students if you wanted. And there's even some for teachers at the bottom as well. Let me just go back quickly, but you would be able to then access this. So the in-person online events is open now. This page, I believe, is actually accessible. So you can copy it and then send it across to all of your teachers in schools. So there's online teachers CPD here. Again, more information on the CPD here, and you can just register for which ones you want to do, the primary assemblies as well. And then we have the in-person events here. So Empathy Week Live. This is going to be at ACS Cobham School, who are hosting us. Big theatre. We're going to have authors such as Mark Balabon. We're going to have Sandra Thompson, who's an EI expert. We're going to have some live action pieces in amongst this show, which is going to be an hour and a half. I think we're also supplying some lunch as well. Schools just have to get themselves there. I wish that we could do things across the UK and across the world, but these are kind of London based at the moment. But all of this is available. All of it's free. So we have a really big offering for schools, and then the on-demand speakers, so Charlotte and those things will be coming or starting to be uploaded towards the end of January. And then film-based assemblies, we're actually just about to upload them today or tomorrow. So they'll be going live in the next couple of days, which gives at least 6 weeks for teachers to have a look, see if they want to use them or not. So that's everything that is happening. I'm going to just come off. I'll go back. In fact, go back to. I'll just go back to home. I'll go back to home. The website hopefully is pretty easy. You can go straight on it, register. The trailer that we showed you is there, and the school's information pack is in the about section. So please do have a look at this. We said it'd be 15 minutes. It's 14 minutes past. We like to keep to time. Does anyone have any questions or want to add anything in the chat? What we ask is that we make this free because we are able to get some partnerships with people. We also fund it through by selling our films program from the previous year. It's not like a catch. And I, being a teacher, remember sometimes you think free doesn't equal quality. We want to try and change that. But what we really want to do is try and reach as many schools as possible, because that's how we can bring then more opportunities next year. If we have more schools doing it this year, we can go back to Canva and say, hey, can we do more stuff and get more things for teachers? And that's the way that it kind of works. So we do ask if you know some teacher friends, or get your school involved, but try and help us spread the message, because it's going to lead to a bigger and better Empathy Week every year. And that's what we've been doing, but we hope it could continue. So please, if there aren't any questions, you can drop us a line. Our email is contact@empathy-week.com. We also have a specific schools email, which would be schools@empathy-week.com. So drop us a line on those emails and make sure you get registered. I know some of you here already are, but if there's no questions, then we can finish up.